Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. It is, of course, everyone's favorite day of the week if you're a Call of Duty fan, or if you're slightly dehydrated, it is Thirsty Thursday. That means it is also update day here in Call of Duty. Now, today's update is admittedly a bit strange because it was initially supposed to be the final update of Season 1, but obviously, as we know now, Season 2 was delayed. What we do have, though, today is still our standard weekly update, but we also have some interesting stealth changes as well, which I haven't seen mentioned anywhere in any patch notes because there haven't been any. So we got a handful of changes to go over, obviously all the new update content and everything there. As we cover it all, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new to the channel, or if you're a part of the 58% of viewers who have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with all things going on in COD, so feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. Now, like I said, it is still Thirsty Thursday, and that means we've got our standard weekly playlist update. We see this happen every week. We should be seeing a playlist update next Thursday and the Thursday after that, leading up to Season 2. As of right now, Raven has not revealed any previews for that or anything like what we usually see, so we're going to have to wait and see if anything comes of that. But as for today, first things first, on Caldera, we actually have the return of Vanguard Resurgence for this. It's just going to be trios, and obviously this is sort of like that cut down portion of Caldera where you're only playing on a small portion of the map. You have the respawns enabled just like Resurgence over on Rebirth Island. Definitely a bit of a twist for Caldera gameplay. In theory, it really speeds things up because you don't have players rotating over peak constantly and through all the open areas very slowly. So it's a lot more fast paced, but obviously it's the smaller player count. So just take that for what it's worth. We got that going on this week. We also have standard battle royale in case you want to use any modern warfare weapons, any Cold War weapons, or any Vanguard weapons. And for that, we've got solos, duos, trios, and quads. So all the player count and party counts there. We also have standard plunder trios in there as well. Then finally, for Rebirth Island, we got two different options this week for Resurgence. We have duos, then we also have standard quads as well. So plenty of choices this week when it comes to gameplay. If you want to run regular Caldera, if you want to run Resurgence on Caldera, or if you want to run a couple different party options on Rebirth. Now, while obviously Season 2 is still a couple of weeks away, as mentioned earlier, what we did get this past week is our first official confirmation that some map changes are actually coming to Caldera with Season 2. Raven was actually tweeted saying, hey, just a heads up, you know, there's a part on the map here, I believe it's just south of Arsenal actually, and you have the general layout of what's on the map. Obviously, you run through the buildings and whatnot, but it doesn't line up with what's on the map. Both when you open like the big map, the attack map, and then also in your mini map in the top left. And Raven actually says maybe the map knows about a change coming to this area in Season 2, which is, like I said, our first official confirmation that we are in fact going to see some map changes with the new season. Hopefully our seasonal map changes are a bit more significant than what we saw on Verdansk for quite some time. You know, having satellites come down or having some trucks with some radio towers on them don't really change gameplay all that much, right? So hopefully the Caldera map changes really do, you know, alter gameplay and have a larger impact on gameplay to ideally make things flow a little bit better, maybe speed things up a bit. I'm very curious to see what all changes. I imagine we probably see some changes with some of the bunkers and the hatches on the map too, but yeah, we did get our first official confirmation that Season 2 will be changing up the map at least a little bit. Then, like I said at the start, it seems like this past week we've actually seen a couple of different stealth changes go live in Warzone that for whatever reason weren't mentioned over on Twitter, saying, hey, yeah, we updated this, we fixed that. And because we haven't seen any patch notes at the time that I'm recording this video, they also weren't mentioned there. But we did see a couple of new updates go live in game and also on the Trello board. So based initially off of the information on the Trello board, they actually changed a few issues from being investigated to resolved, meaning the updates went live in game. The first one has to do with the well gun unlock challenge. As you probably know if you've tried to unlock the well gun since it was introduced, the challenge in Warzone was actually glitched for a little bit and wouldn't track at all. Now though, it is supposed to be tracking correctly. I've had some players say, well, it doesn't show up on the menu that they're, you know, 7 out of 10 games, let's say, or 7 out of 15, however many the challenge is. It is tracking in the background, and once you complete all the games, then it will automatically unlock. Other players have said, yeah, my tracking shows up, it's working just, you know, as intended right now, but nonetheless, the well gun should be tracking now if you go in and try to complete that challenge. They also made an update to the issue where they temporarily disabled the top secret contracts because there were issues that basically gave players too much cash and too much XP. Those should now be back, especially in modes like Plunder, where you can go in and try and do those repeatedly back to back to back to get some nice XP bonuses and ideally level up your weapons a bit quicker. I know the method is not as fast as it was before, but if you're looking to try and level weapons quickly, that's a pretty good method for plunder, just going in and doing that contract spam. Or if you go into rebirth and sort of do the same thing with supply runs and whatnot, that can really help out too. Again, I don't think the XP rewards are as good as before, but it's still one of the faster ways, especially if you are a Warzone only player. Then the final sort of stealth update they made via the Trello board was the whole player count issue, where a couple weeks back they actually reduced the max player count in some of the modes to help with crashing issues and disconnect issues. They have said that that's been completed, so we should see the normal player counts in all the modes now, regardless of what map or what mode you're playing. Now, it does seem there was another stealth change made in game that I didn't see any mention of on the Trello board. Again, they did not tweet about it, and it has to do with the planes. The planes, ever since we got the whole Pacific update, have been semi-controversial. They are very strong, especially in modes like solos, where it's basically impossible to counter a good player in a plane. It's free kills if you know what you're doing. Now, it seems like they have actually nerfed the plane in one way, but also buffed it in a different way. The buff comes in the form of being able to actually finish downed players with the plane. Now, previously, if you flew through and you knocked a player, that was it. You had to hope that you got the squad wipe on that team, because if you just knocked him, you couldn't actually get that cleanup with the plane itself. You had to have either an enemy finish that kill for you, a teammate come through and finish that kill, or again, you had to squad wipe to actually get that knock confirmed and get that kill counted for you. Now, though, I've seen multiple clips over on Twitter, especially from Isaac, because the man's the goated pilot in Caldera, where you can actually go through and get kills on downed players. So if you're a really good pilot, you can definitely take advantage of that. Or if you happen to get lucky and come across some downed players, you can actually take them out via your plane. However, at the same time, getting some free kills with the plane has now become a lot more difficult. If you've tried messing around with them in the past, I'm sure you know all about how easy it is to shoot players out of the sky in their parachutes. That's a big strat right now, especially for players going for high kill games, is they'll get in a plane right away, then fly up and try and get all the people landing in off the initial plane drop, because if they're going to pull their chute, it's basically a free kill. There was some insane aim lock with planes on players who were parachuting right away when the game started. Now, though, I've tried this multiple times at this point. If you go through and try and shoot at players who are parachuting in right as the game starts, there's like no hit reg on them. You don't auto lock to them anymore. Hit markers just are very, very rare at this point. But if, say, a player is jumping off of peak because they're trying to rotate and you have a plane, you can still lock onto them pretty easily, just not the players at the very start of the match, it would seem. So those early game free kills have been nerfed. Again, it wasn't mentioned in any patch notes, but it is something I noticed in game. Also, yesterday afternoon, we did get some surprise patch notes. Nothing too crazy here, just a handful of bug fixes. They fixed collision issues with various elements across Caldera, as they do every single time we get patch notes. They also fixed an issue causing instability when pressing the Xbox home button, so that's a huge update there. They fixed some other instability issues when you typed certain characters in game, an issue causing the menu screen to flicker, an issue causing players to respawn via buyback with part of their original loadout. That has to do with, I believe, the throwing knife variants actually. They also fixed an issue causing additional placeholder images to appear in store bundles, an issue causing live matches to crash, an issue causing players to fall into a bottomless pit of despair when attempting to take a dip in the pool. This is what happens when you don't bring floaties. I mean, let's be real here. They also fixed an issue causing the second loadout public event to not occur in core battle royale mode. So now we are going to see that second loadout drop in, I believe, just after zone 5 in core battle royale and Vanguard Royale. So that's a big W there too. Then to close things out, moving over to Vanguard, we did get a new playlist update here as well. This week we're looking at all the standard quick play stuff. We also have Das House as its own separate playlist. We've got Trifecta Domination, Blitz Team Deathmatch, Pacific Party, Rocket Hill Duos, which is Champion Hill but only rockets, then standard Champion Hill Trios as well. So yeah, there you have it. With all that being said, that is effectively everything that ended up changing in today's new update with Warzone and Vanguard, and also some of these stealth changes from earlier on this week as well. That's gonna wrap things up for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know by dropping a like on it. Would be seriously appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with all things going on in COD. News, updates, loadouts, tips, it is all right here. So feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. As always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code IMMORTAL for a discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, Gamer Advantage, and Control Freak products. And links for all those can be found down in the description below. Well, once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.